So this is replacing a bushing on a 1973 F100, and here's the first bolt you remove. This one right there on the back of the bushing, and then this bolt on the shock right down here. There's your shock, and then there's a bolt on the spring right inside here. You can access it kind of the way I did with the easy breaker bar on the top. Got my jack stand and jack right there. And then you want to drop this. There's a bolt right here, and on the other side of it to drop this I-beam. There's an I-beam right there that you need to drop. And then after that, you're going to want to slide this whole section and pull it this way in order to get this bushing off right up here. So this will pull back, and then you can place your bushings and stab the radius arm back in, and then reattach your I-beam on that side over there. Now the pressure is off the spring. There's a jack down here that I raised, or actually lowered the I-beam, and now this is loose, so I got a little bit more to go on this bolt. I'll loosen that, drop the jack all the way, the I-beam all the way down. This will drop down, and then remove the bushing over there on the I-beam, and then I can pull this back and replace the bushing. So I used a 30mm, and this is probably not correct, but it worked. It's a little loose. That was for the spring bolt. And the I-beam bolt is a 15/16, and this is what it looks like on this side, but for this side it's actually on the other wheel well over there. And just remove that and then drop this down, and then you can replace your bushing. I-beam bolt, shock bolt. Actually, that's the spring bolt. Shock bolt down here, bushing back. Here's where the jack lowers that whole section right there, and releases pressure from the spring. And then you can pull this forward and replace the bushing. So I had to lower this a little bit and put the tire back on in order to get this I-beam to drop right there. So that's dropped out, and then I used I could come along to pull the tire forward. and that allowed me to get that pulled out, and now I can remove the bushing right there. So these are the rubber bushings on a 73 Ford F100, and I believe they go like this, with the long end going in first after your cup. You got a metal cup right here, then the long end goes in like this, then you stab it into the bracket, and then on the back side you have this one, the cup going face in first, then you got a metal washer, and then the bolt on the back side of that right there, that bracket. So I used a 1 1/8 inch socket and a torque wrench to torque the bolt in the back right here, and it gets a cotter pin, but I torqued it to 100 and double checked that to be sure exactly what it is. Installation complete. Torque down to 100 pounds with the cotter pin. Here's a removal of the I-beam bushing. This section right here, you punch it out from the back. So when you're done playing around with the screwdriver trying to get the bushing out, I heard another way was to bring this out. Here's the old I-beam bushing, pretty trashed, and here's the new one. And it goes in this position, right up in there. So first, to replace this bushing right here, the radius arm bushing, you remove the cotter pin, remove this bolt, and then there's a bushing on the I-beam that needs to be removed, and there's a bolt right inside here under the spring, and that gets removed. 1 1/8 socket.